Okay, so I've got an article here from the Wall Street Journal. I literally just subscribed to the Wall Street Journal so that I could read this article because it looks interesting. Okay? And it's called The Next Cancellation Target. Dr. Seuss. Dun dun dun. Okay, it doesn't say dun dun dun, but it does say the next cancellation target, Dr. Seuss. Okay, so let's read this. It's by Michael Saltsman. And just by reading the preview first paragraph, when you're not a Wall Street Journal subscriber, he's pretty salty. So, Michael Saltzman, pretty salty here. Former First Lady Michelle Obama welcomed the Cat in the Hat to the White House in 2015. 6 years later, Dr. Seuss is increasingly unwelcome at public schools in the nation's capital. What changed? Not Dr. Seuss. Blame our present fixation on judging revered historical figures by their worst sins rather than their best contributions. Ooh, people are saying Dr. Seuss wasn't a good person. Oh no, but I like his books. Okay, so people are saying to criticize Dr. Seuss. So what? What do you care? Aren't you guys supposed to be like Mr. Free Speech? So I started using beard oil. But the problem is I think I might have used too much, and it's making my fingers greasy. Dr. Seuss, pen name of Theodore Seuss, Ted Giselle, 1904 to 1991, is one of America's best-known children's authors. From Green Eggs and Ham to The Sneetches, which The Sneetches, what is The Sneetches? Who knows The Sneetches? I mean, I'm sure it is a Dr. Seuss book, but like, why do you say The Sneetches? There's Horton Hears a Who, there's freaking so many other ones that you could have used other than that. From The Cat in the Hat to Oh, the Places You'll Go. He uses The Sneetches and not Where the Wild Things Are. He uses Sneetches and not Horton Hears a Who. What are you thinking? Giselle's books are ubiquitous on kids' bookshelves. Okay, so now he's just calling him by his actual name, not his pen name. His legacy includes Read Across America Day, which takes place annually on his birthday, March 2nd. Starting in 1997, the National Education Association, in partnership with Dr. Seuss Enterprises, used the day as an organizing event to promote childhood literacy. The U.S. Senate unanimously approved several celebratory resolutions praising Dr. Seuss' success in encouraging children to discover the joy of reading. The joy began to fade in 2017. Okay, now here's where we get to the article. So we just spent 2 paragraphs jerking off Dr. Seuss, and now we're going to get probably 3 paragraphs complaining that people want to cancel him. This joy began to fade in 2017. The joy of Dr. Seuss began to fade in 2017. Oh, the humanity. The joy that he has brought to so many people began to fade. It began to fade when the wokes came for him. No! Not the joy of Dr. Seuss. Anything but that, please. The joy began to fade in 2017 when the NEA announced it would reduce its emphasis on Dr. Seuss to encourage diversity. An article on the union's decision warned that a connection to the legendary children's author no longer comes without criticism, citing another report that asked, "Is the Cat in the Hat racist?" This year, the transition was complete. My daughter's public school in Washington sent an email to parents saying it has moved away from the focus on Dr. Seuss. Oh no! Someone asked if Dr. Seuss was racist. The man who was writing in the 20s. And then, after asking if the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Seuss was racist, you got an email from your daughter's school, which is public, by the way, because you're a man of the people, said that they would be reducing the emphasis on Dr. Seuss. No! No! Some of Seuss's early works were indeed racist. He drew on crude, offensive stereotypes in several drawings of blacks and Asian Americans. Seuss Enterprises doesn't shy away from this controversy. These racially stereotypical drawings were hurtful then, and they are still hurtful today. It acknowledges in an online essay titled Dr. Seuss's Use of Racist Images. So he's just saying that Seuss Enterprises, the publishing house of the book, had a apology letter. Okay. So what? They have a PR department, and people are saying that Dr. Seuss is racist. They're gonna make an apology letter. I don't know. But like many Americans before him and since, Dr. Seuss changed. As a political cartoonist during World War II, Seuss often criticized isolationism, racism, and anti-Semitism, with a conviction and fervor lacking in most other American editorial pages of the period. Another well-known illustrator, Art Spiegelman, wrote in 1999, he was really a fighter for oppressed classes. That's what he's saying there. He also wrote Yertle the Turtle, an anti-fascist tale on the rise of Hitler, and a magazine story that would become the anti-discrimination classic, The Sneetches. There's The Sneetches again. So really, this guy's like the anti-Jew. Okay. In 2015 remarks to the White House interns, President Obama even cited The Sneetches as a laudable example of how to live your life. Pretty much all of the stuff you need to know is in Dr. Seuss. The desire to wipe Dr. Seuss's books from elementary school stems from the same harmful worldview that says Abraham Lincoln's name should be removed from a public school because some of his views fall short by today's standards. That's a mouthful. Or that describes Mount Rushmore as a monument to racism. Our country's history is filled with imperfect people who nevertheless did remarkable things. Indeed, yes, our country's history is filled with imperfect people. Yes, slaveholders and slavers were imperfect. Genociders, imperfect. Colonizers, imperfect. I mean, that's all that you need to know about this mentality here. Imperfect. That's the way that the Wall Street Journal's opinion, columnist decided to go. Our history is filled with imperfect people who nevertheless did remarkable things. Remarkable. Like inventing the noose and the swimming pool. Yes. Remarkable. I don't know what to say. This guy's panties in a bunch about a reduced emphasis on Cat in the Hat. Yes, I get it. Cat in the Hat is nostalgic for you, okay? It's a part of our culture, society, whatever. Like, everybody fucking read it as a kid. It's great. I get it. You don't want to lose that. But you don't have to lose it just because you criticize aspects of the author who, in many ways was progressive compared to his contemporaries. In other ways, not so progressive relative to his contemporaries. But, just acknowledging that doesn't mean that you have to lose your happy, good, joyous feelings of Dr. Seuss. Like, just fucking accept it and move on. Less Dr. Seuss. Okay, I'm sure there's a lot of other authors that have come since then that our kids could read instead. Maybe that don't include racist imagery in their earlier works. Just a thought. Maybe. And it's not like we're going and burning all of the Dr. Seuss books. Like, you can still get Dr. Seuss. Go on Amazon. You can get 50 copies of Horton Hears a Who for like $20. It comes in a box. You can go just hand them to kids on the street if you want. Don't do that. Don't hand books to kids on the street. If you want to donate books, I'm sure there's an excellent book drive that you can go and actually give the books to the book drive people. Just a thought. Just a thought. Maybe don't freak out every time, we find something out that we don't like or that is very bad about someone who we revere or idolize in some other way. I mean, first of all, you can stop revering people because of their, belief in free speech or whatever, their fucking thesis paper that they wrote in grad school. It doesn't matter.